Star Trek Strange New Worlds draws its inspiration from the rich tapestry of Star Trek history, and understanding the context can enhance the viewing experience. Understanding the references and callbacks can really change how you view the show. With all this said, it's a show that sits extremely well on its own. You can jump straight into this with no prior experience with Star Trek, but hopefully this video can give you enough information to improve your experience with the show. Here's a primer on key elements to know before diving into Strange New Worlds. Let's get into it. Christopher Pike is the captain of the Starship, the USS Enterprise in the show. He was originally introduced in the very first unaired pilot of Star Trek the original series, titled The Cage. Although this pilot was kind of half initially rejected, its footage was later incorporated into a two-part original series episode called The Menagerie. Pike was the captain of the USS Enterprise before James T. Kirk, who, if you don't know, was the first captain we saw on our screens in the original Star Trek series back in the 60s. Pike's character is noble, thoughtful, and embodies the exploratory spirit of Starfleet. Spock, the iconic Vulcan officer who has served under both Pike and Kirk. His mixed human and Vulcan heritage often causes internal struggles between logic, which comes from his Vulcan side, and emotion from his human side. It's important to understand the Vulcan philosophy of embracing logic, suppressing emotions, and of course their iconic salutation, live long and prosper. Number 1. Una Chin Riley. Introduced in the original unaired pilot The Cage, she's the first officer under Pike. Her character was initially shrouded in mystery, known only for her competence and calm demeanour. The series Star Trek Discovery fleshed out her character further, but Strange New Worlds delves even deeper into her role and personality. The USS Enterprise NCC 1701, the starship in which most of the series takes place. Before Captain Kirk took command, the Enterprise was helmed by Captain Christopher Pike. This ship is one of Starfleet's most iconic vessels. It's the flagship, representing the pioneering spirit of space exploration. The general setting. The show is set in the 23rd century, a time of exploration and diplomatic missions for Starfleet. The Federation is still in its formative years, and the universe is vast and less charted than in later series. Part of the fun of this show is getting to see the earlier interactions with certain alien species from later shows. I won't spoil any, but it's certainly nice to see how some alien species were supposed to look, disregarding the low budgets and capabilities of the 60s. Which original series episodes to watch to get more of an understanding. Of course, the unaired pilot The Cage is the only episode that truly showcases Pike, Spock, and Number 1. It's the only full episode in which we get to see the crew of Strange New Worlds. You need to watch The Menagerie Parts 1 and Part 2. It uses footage from The Cage but adds context about Pike's later years. This is also a storyline that is played on with Pike's character in both Discovery and in Strange New Worlds, and it's an extremely important one. The Star Trek Discovery connection. Star Trek Discovery Seasons 1 and 2 provide backstory for this era, especially concerning Captain Pike, Spock, and Number 1. They serve aboard the USS Discovery for a period of time during this series, and their experiences here can provide additional context for Strange New Worlds. However, you certainly do not need to watch Discovery. Hopefully this video will provide you with enough context. The only thing I would say that helps with the going-ons on this show is the episode of Discovery in which Captain Pike essentially lives through a moment in his future, so he knows something about his future that is likely going to happen, again connecting to the Menagerie. The spirit of exploration. Unlike some Star Trek series that delve deeper into war or political intrigue, Strange New Worlds harkens back to the original series' exploration-focused episodes, where moral dilemmas, new civilizations, and the unknown wonders of space are central, which, in my opinion, is how Star Trek should be. As much as I love the other shows and the themes that they explore, nothing beats the original series. I may get some hate for that, but it's always a subjective opinion, of course. The broader Star Trek universe. While not necessary for Strange New Worlds, having a general understanding of the ethos of Star Trek, including the Prime Directive, which is non-interference with developing civilizations, Starfleet's mission, peace, exploration, and scientific discovery, and the nature of the United Federation of Planets can enhance appreciation. Character dynamics. The trio of Pike, Spock, and Number 1 is central to the show. Their dynamics, both personal and professional, form the crux of the narrative, as they tackle challenges and uncover the mysteries of space. But having said that, there are far more stories with the other supporting characters than just these three, as opposed to the original series where stories mainly focused on the main three characters of Kirk, Spock, and Bones. By familiarizing yourself with all of these aspects, you'll be well equipped to dive into the adventures of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Still, as with any Star Trek series, even newcomers can enjoy the journey, picking up nuances and lore along the way. However you choose to approach Strange New Worlds, whether it's as a veteran Trek fan or it is your introduction to Star Trek, I think it's a fantastic show for all to enjoy. I also really hope that whichever camp you're in, this video was helpful. As always, thank you all so much for watching, fellow explorers. I hope you have a great day, live long and prosper, and I'll see you next time on Federation Outpost 111.